What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are on NBA 2K looking at the easiest players to trade for to help start your franchise or to help your team win a championship. But with nothing more to do, let's get into the first player. The first guy we will be looking at is Jabari Walker from the Timberwolves. Um, Overall wise, he's not great, but 21 at 6'7", he's a great size and age for your small forward. He could defend and could progress better at defense, could rebound very, very well, could shoot pretty decently at all three levels, and the biggest part of him is that he has A minus potential. So we are giving up a first round, but that isn't unprotected from Denver. So that does not hold a lot of value in DeAndre Jordan. I mean, that's DeAndre Jordan. You're just getting rid of him just to get rid of him. This trade will go through, and you get an easy trade. You get a great player to start your franchise with. A little bit weirder of a pickup is Chris Paul. This is more of if you're in a championship level, like you're on that level already. This is less of if you're trying to build a good team. But Chris Paul off the bench could score all three levels, could play make extremely well, and could defend very, very well. He could honestly almost be your starting guard. He's a great player. Really expensive contract. That's why you can get him for so cheap. But if you are going for that 1 year and you really know you guys have a chance to win that championship, he is the guy you should go for. And we're just giving up Reggie Jackson and a second round pick, and this will go through. Pretty expensive trade when you look at it, trading away Aaron Gordon, but he is an only 3-star player. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Gordon in this game. He can't really score, and he's basically a center at this point. I mean, just a good defensive player. But you are getting Jalen Duren in this trade. I mean, an elite center at 19 years old. You could even move him to power forward if you're worried about that height. But rebounding, incredibly good. Pretty dang good post defender and is a above average perimeter defender. The biggest thing about him is that he has good potential for already being an 83 overall. So this is a trade I'd love to make in almost every rebuild. Just making sure to get Jalen Duren on your roster because he is going to be great. And it goes through. Going back after a Pistons player is Isaiah Stewart. Good power forward, could stretch the ball. Pretty solid defender. Has to work on that rebounding, but you want to keep him definitely more at a power forward. Borderline move him to small forward. He's a good player. He could progress still. I'd love to make this trade and just build them into a defensive player. It's really important that you select these individual training for these players because he's already a shooter. You don't need to work on that. We just got to make sure he becomes an elite defender because if he's a great defender, your rebuild's going to be amazing because in defense or in 2K, defense is really all that matters. But giving up a 73 overall and KCP, who's on a $14 million deal, he's a great player also to have in your rebuilds. More expensive though. But Isaiah Stewart's someone I always love to have. And that goes through. Going back after the Warriors, a guy I love to also have, again, similar to a Chris Paul situation, is Draymond Green. I mean, not a great shooter. He could stretch the floor, but mid-range is not there. The good thing about him, though, is he could defend anybody. I literally mean anybody he could defend. And that's just something that's just so important. His age is an issue, and his contract is also an issue. But if you are in that 1 year rebuild, not 1 year rebuild, but 1 year championship contending situation, Draymond's amazing to have on your team. And you're just giving up Zeke and a first round pick later on. I'd love to make this trade. It's amazing. Another pretty easy trade to make is for a dominant center in Walker Kessler. He's a 7-footer at 22 years old. Could defend anybody, and he's an incredible rebounder. I love getting Walker Kessler. He is so good in this game. And you see we got TJ McConnell. I know he's not a Nugget, but he's not an expensive player when it comes to trade value. And you get Walker Kessler pretty dang easily. I love making this trade, and I recommend all y'all do it. Just a great trade to make. Walker Kessler is just a beast. Another good center who's not too difficult to get is Mark Williams. Another great rebounder, great defender. He's 7 foot, 21 years old. Not as good of a scorer as like a guy like Walker Kessler, but instead of that scoring ability, you're getting that A potential. He could become like almost a 90 overall, even if he progresses well, even higher. He's a great player to have. You're giving up Duncan Robinson, who's an expensive player that I honestly do not like to have. Can't defend, could only really shoot. Um, and Medu, who's just like kind of a bench guy. You're also getting Seth Curry back, but Mark Williams, he's a great player to have, and this trade is just super easy for me to make. The next guy we're going after is Jalen Suggs off of the Magic. He could defend, he could play make, he could shoot, and best of all, he's got potential to keep becoming good. Great player. You're giving up two solid players. Zach LaVine's so much money, and Bridges is coming off contract. Suggs is super good. Joe Ingles is just Joe Ingles, but this trade's easy. It's a great guard to get to start your franchise, and that is amazing. But that is going to be all for today's video. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.